This does not indicate how big my light bulb moment was. This was the only one I happened to have in mind, in my hand. I mean, so when was the last time you had a light bulb moment? I know you know what I mean. It is one of those times where something is going on, something has happened, or the way you think about something, and then all of a sudden one day you're like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I didn't think about that before. I was trying to think about one of my recent light bulb moments, and this one is probably on a 20 watt, not the floodlight one that I'm going to talk to you about today. But I have on my van, I have an outside outlet that's a GFI outlet, and it wasn't working. The little thing you punch in there, it didn't work anymore. So I got a new one, and I happened to be at a shop having something else done, and I asked the guy, would you just install that for me? So he put it in. He said, no, it doesn't work. It just doesn't work. You're not getting any power to it at all. We're going to have to tear the bed about. We're going to have to fix all the wires. We're going to have to do all this stuff. I'm like, well, not right now. Just leave it alone. I don't use it that much. So that was that. And I was sitting on my patio out in the desert one day, and I'm thinking, you know what? I wonder why that doesn't work, because it worked except for, pushing the button. So I'm sitting there, and all of a sudden I got this light bulb thought. I know what he did wrong. He put it in backwards. So I started doing some research about it, and sure enough, he had put it in backwards. So that was just a small little light bulb that went off in my head. But you know what I'm getting at. You know what I mean. So recently, I had this floodlight go off in my mind. You know that I talk an awful lot about my generator and my batteries and my solar and my power. And I often say that if you don't have power, then you don't have anything. You're stranded. You're just dead in the water. So fortunately, I do have a generator, but I've had 2 vans and 4 generators. Not only have I had to get replaced 2, I have had breakdowns where my generator was in the shop. Recently, it was in the shop for 3 weeks because they had to get parts. Fortunately, I was at my daughter's, so I could plug in. But I'm always, when I go out in the wilderness, I'm always waiting for that other shoe to drop. Do you know what I mean? If my generator dies on me, I'm dead in the water. I got nothing. I have a little bit of solar, but it's not enough to keep my batteries charged for all my stuff. And then it hit me. I've talked a lot about building another van and having 800 watts of solar and 600 amp batteries and all of these fancy things, and the DC to DC and all of those things. And the reason that I've been saying that is because I wanted to have a great amount of power, because it takes that amount of power to run all the things I have in here. So my light bulb went off, and it said, you know what? Why don't you just learn how to not use so much power? I'm like, well, okay, what's that going to look like? How am I going to decrease the amount of power that I use in my van, so I don't have to rely so much on having a generator that charges my batteries, that, I have to keep running all the time because I have to keep charging my batteries because I keep draining because of all the stuff that I have going on. So I got to thinking about that and thinking, you know what? I could do this. I could do that. I could do that. And I began to think, my mind shift changed to the fact I don't need more power. I need to use less power. So with that going on in my head, I'm thinking, well, okay, I need to decide what I'm going to do next. And so it occurred to me that probably the best way to do that is in real time, real life. I'm doing the series on it. You're going to walk through it with me. Going to figure out how I'm going to do this, how much power I'm going to be able to save, how much power I'm going to actually need in order to be able to live comfortably, but not extravagantly, because I have to tell you right now, I have all the lights on in here, got the heat on. I have my Starlink in the window and I just leave it on all the time, whether I need it or not. So there's so many things that I can figure out, but I'm going to have to figure out how I'm going to be able to monitor and adjust, and I'm just how I'm going to be able to do it. I don't know. So anyway, as I said, I'm doing a series about it in real time. So you're going to watch me do the whole thing from start to finish. And we'll see how many mistakes I make, how many things I screw up, because there's probably going to be a lot of them. But anyway, if you're interested to see how my whole lifestyle is going to change by doing this, then consider subscribing and come along with me on this journey, because it's going to be a great one, I can tell. I'll have the first video out in about 10 days, and because I'll be starting by then. The reason I'm going to start now is because I'm headed out to the desert this week, and I'm going to have to make some changes, or I'm going to always be waiting for the other shoe to drop. So think about that and subscribe. Let's do it together. Until next time, have a great day.